All right, so we can get into a little bit of sound editing. This happens to be one of the sites that commonly use. It's a free source site, obviously, free sound. A lot of these, though, you can find links on the Schoology page, resource folder, that will lead you to several different sites where you can find different types of sound effects, files, music, that kind of thing, so that we can use in our projects. Another option is to obviously record your own sound, which I'll demo a little bit of that as well. So first, I want to try to find some files that I can use. Trying to think about some things that can be used pretty easily, and I kind of like this one. It has like a low droning kind of sound to it, and it's an MP3 file. So let me try to download this. I have a few WAV files that I want to use as well. So I'm going to download this one, and once it's done, I'm going to relocate it to this little sample project folder that I'm working in. Take that and cut it and paste it here. And I'm going to call this one just a soft wind. A lot of times these files have a lot of really long file names, and I'm just trying to simplify it a little bit. So there I've got a folder, and I've got a video file here that I want to use. And I'm going to open up Premiere Pro. All right, so once this opens, I'm going to create a new project, and I'm going to title this is going to be my sample project. I'll do Fulton sample. Make sure you title your assignment based on, or your project based on the assignment that you're completing. I'm going to go to Browse, and I'm going to make sure that this is in the right place. So I'm going to go, I actually have a folder, Premiere Pro Sound Editing, and I'm going to select this. So I know where it's at, I know what it's titled, and I'm going to click OK. And now I'm greeted with our interface here for Premiere. Now there's nothing here I can work with because I need to import some media. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Import. And I'm going to locate, here's my project file. I am going to locate this AVI, which has been previously edited and reworked in After Effects, so this will work perfectly. So I'm going to open this, and now I have in my project folder here, I have my file. I'm going to scrub through it, and you can see all that's there. So I'm going to take this and drag it over here, like it says, drop media here to create sequence, and I've dropped it there. I don't want anything to happen to this video file here, so I'm going to lock down this V1, which is my video file, and it imported audio with it, which I don't have any audio with that file. So what I'm going to do here is actually delete that. These are active audio layers, and I don't need all of that happening right now. As I add on some more audio, I will adjust that. So got my video layer locked. If I hit spacebar, it will play through everything still. And this is just a silly thing that I put together just basically for the purpose of this. So there's an intro, there's an animation, and there's a credits sequence there happening. And what I want to do now is start to bring in some of these audio files. So I'm going to go to File, Import, and let's start off with this whooshing sound, and open that. And so here it is. Drag it. I'm going to drop it right here in A1. So now I have it there. Now it's awfully small. It's hard to edit. So I can adjust these little nodes right here at the bottom, which is also my slider. And what I'm going to do is start to place that where I need it. And so I'm going to play with the space bar. So there's my whoosh sound. And I want it to, I think that's a good place right there for it. And I'm going to leave it here, but it's awfully large file for just a small little bit of sound there. So let me show you what I mean. It's showing you the actual wave file. And so I'm going to shrink this down. It doesn't need to be that complicated. So I'm going to shrink it down to that. Check it out. Okay. Now one whoosh isn't obviously going to be enough. So there's the whoosh happening. I'll slide it. You can just click and drag and slide it there. And what I'm going to do is actually take this. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to Control V and paste it right here. So I have another one. So I'm going to scrub it. Let's say I want it to swoosh every time it goes horizontal like that. So here I've got it. Whoosh. And then another whoosh right there. So let me Control V again. I'm going to adjust that a little bit to here. I'm going to scrub down this way. Find my next place I want it to whoosh. Right there. And I'm going to Control V again. So I'm just copying and pasting the same sound over and over. So there's my whoosh. And then another one right here. Want it to actually be right about there. Man, I've got a lot of things to add in here. Another one right there. Right about there. So I'm going to slide that over. I'm looking at like the loud part to kind of whoosh right when it gets horizontal like that. Okay, and then one more whoosh right there. Copy that. I want it to whoosh right when it stops there. All right, so let's play that. That's pretty simple. Spacebar. Not too bad for a silly sound. Now, notice that even when it was far away, it was making that constant sound over and over again. And you can adjust the audio on that by double-clicking on this audio layer. And I want to show volume. So this is my volume bar. And I want to add and remove keyframes. So I'm going to take this and say right here, I'm going to add one right there. I'm going to click that. And basically this is at 0, which is at normal decibel level. And so I can take this and adjust it, right? Make it higher or lower. And then it's layering the whole bar right now. So if I can tone the whole sound down just to that level, let's play that. Very audible. I mean, very little audible sound there. So I'm going to raise it up just a little bit. And I think that's good for that first one. But as it gets closer, it should be getting louder, right? So let's add another here, but maybe raise it up. It tells you what the dB level is right there. I'm just going to raise it up a tad. And I'm going to add another right around here. Just up a little bit. Add another. And so I'm adding keyframes by clicking on this. Very much like After Effects. Got a little bit of a play with adding in your keyframes. One more, which is good because I want this last one just to be at 0, basically. And there. So that's like normal. So let's hear what that sounds like. Pretty cool. I like that. So pretty simple, easy way to bring in an audio file, copy it over several times. I even trimmed it from beginning to end just by grabbing those little handlebars. And now I can adjust this. Now, it's not going to let me. I'm in volume mode right here. So I need to change this and go back to clip keyframes. And now, like, I can clip these. I can make them longer or shorter. So when I was editing them, I just grabbed the little handlebars at the ends and adjusted them. And then you can right click on it and you can, copy, and then you can go over, and I did Control V, which is paste, because you don't see a paste option on here. But I copied it and then Control V and pasted it over and over until I got enough whooshes that I was happy with it. And then I adjusted the audio. So those audio settings, even though they're not visible, you can see and hear how it kind of changes the sound there. All right, so that's good. It's all good and fun. Let's say I want another audio file here, and let's throw in kind of a goofy little wee sound. So I want to do that sound starting right about here. I want to make a marker. So I'm going to leave this little marker guy right here. And then I'm going to scrub through to the end and leave a marker right here. So I know if video or audio file needs to fit between these two markers that I'm going to use for this next part. So I'm going to go File, Import, use my Wii file and open that up. And I'm going to take this and drag it right here on that marker. And let's see what that sounds like. I like it just like that. All right. Now, obviously, it's a lot longer than it needs to be. So there's a lot to trim on this file. So go to my handlebars here at the end and drag that to this last marker, just like that. Silly. Now I've got another, I'm going to make this one active as well, and I'm going to import another sound at the bottom. And this last one's going to be kind of a goofy theme, rave sound, theme music. It's going to start pretty much right where this marker ends. And that should take me to the end. Oh, I like it right there. Just stops perfectly in line with what I need. Done, right? Now, let's say you want to do something else. What if that wee sound isn't working for you? What if you wanted to make your own wee sound? So all of this is good. I can export this just as it is. It's fine. I can also add more audio tracks to this. So I can right click down here and go to add audio track. You can see now it's added an A4, and you have your own little scrubbers on the side over here. Here's A4. So let's say I wanted something else down here, and then I'll get back to this Wii file. So let's say I wanted something that kind of encompasses the whole animation, or the whole animation here. Let's see. Oh, that's why it's not showing. I got it kind of hidden back there. It's there though. I thought I was missing an audio file. All right, so I'm going to import another one. Let's say I want that soft wind sound just playing throughout the whole thing. So I'm going to drop this right here. Oh, look, perfect. It kind of softly plays throughout the whole thing here. It's way longer than it needs to be. I can take this and slide it over and chop this front part off. There's not a whole lot of sound, and I can tell by looking at the audio file right here. kind of right there is where the sound is happening, and it's kind of dead right here in the front. So I'm going to trim this up and slide it over. There we go. Looks pretty good. I'm going to trim it up a little bit more. Slide it. And now I have this extra chunk at the end. I don't want that to be rendered out as just empty sound. So I'm going to take that. I'm actually going to trim a little bit of that. It's all even right here on the end, which is good because that, oh, I thought it was even. There we go. All right, so that soft wind is kind of playing in the background. If you want that soft wind to be more prominent, you can double click on that. You can go here, track keyframes and volume, and you can volume it up with this bottom frame right here, this sound file. So if it isn't quite strong enough for you, then take this and raise it up. Make it more prominent, make it. Okay, and then maybe at the end here, I don't need it to be there. So what if I want to crank this up a little bit higher, but right here, there's no need for it to be playing while that crazy music is playing. So I'm going to click another keyframe here, and I'm going to drag this one down. It kind of fades out towards the end there. That works out pretty good. If I wanted to add more of a lower, I don't want it to get too quiet here. So actually I'm going to raise it up. Take this one and slide it this way. Add another one. Slide it down here. See how it kind of adds that curve? It's kind of fading it out by itself, which is cool. As that music will start, it'll do a little crossfade out of this and into my theme music, which is kind of obnoxious. Like the wind in the background. Weird, almost gaming rave music. All right, so there it is. I've got it all there. I've got several different ways to adjust. Added a layer here for audio. Tweaked some of these, and I can close this back, take it back to keyframes, and double click on it to close that back out. So I've got a lot happening here as far as audio goes. 1, 2, 3, 4 sounds, which isn't too bad. I can probably add more if I wanted to, but a little, I don't know. But let's talk about adding your own sounds if you wanted to. So what if I didn't want this one here? What if I want to mute that track? What if I'm not too sure about that wee sound? What if I want to add another? So I'm going to add a track here, and my track got added at the bottom. So here it is. I'll make that active. I'm going to set my marker. So here's my marker. Remember those. This is where I want to start here. And I've got my trusty little microphone set up. Computer might have a microphone set up already or built in, which you can use. But I'm going to right click on this, and I want to check out my settings and make sure that your microphone is set. So I want my input to be set. The source is my snowball here. I'm going to turn down my volume so I don't get a whole lot of feedback, but I can see that I'm getting audio input right now from my microphone. So that's where I'm going to get my audio from. So with this starting, I'm going to click on this. It's going to count down for me to get me ready. And then once I see that this is scrolling over the markers, that tells me when I need to add my own audio. So I'm doing a voice recording here. Whee! Okay, there's my sound. So I know it's kind of goofy, but let me turn up my volume so I can listen to myself make goofy sounds. There I go. And then obnoxious music. So that is pretty much it. Let's say I'm going to keep that sound and not this one. I'm going to lock these down. I like those. And let's say I'm going to lock down my top one here as well. And I'm going to actually get rid of this one. Don't want it. Okay. So there we go. I have audio added, did custom audio, custom cropping, custom sound editing, and volume editing. And now let's get to exporting this. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Export Media. Keep my format as H.264, or change it to that if you don't already have it set to that. And then your preset, I'm going to change to a good shareable high quality video, which is YouTube 1080p full HD. Make sure I know where this is being saved, which is not in the right place. So I'm going to make sure I'm in the right place and find my projects. And I'm going to title this as you should title yours according to your assignment. So I'm going to do Fulton and sample and save. Now, once this is ready, I'm going to go ahead and export, or you can hit Q. This is going to add it to a media encoder. This, I think, is just going to immediately export it. So I'm going to do that, skip a step. And as I look, it's exporting everything and compiling it all into one MP4, as I had this open already. And this is that file. So open this up. Oh no. And the end. All right. So there you have it. That is opening projects, adding sound, customizing sound, cropping sound, playing with volume, adding more layers, and there you go. And doing custom recordings as well. So a little bit of everything for what you need for some basic sound editing. And that's it. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.